welcome to another video. Today I will be memory planning the week of March 18th. I'm going to be using a kit called Flourish by the GP Studio, and I'm pretty sure that this kit has been discontinued, so I do not think that you can get this kit, but I have had it for a while and I really loved the roses in this kit and all the pinks, and I thought it was a really pretty kit and I wanted to use it for like just a fun springish kind of week. And so I think this is the second week of spring break for me, and that's when I decided to use this kit. And I think I showed the pages of the kit, fairly standard, and I'm just gonna kind of hop into this. So we're starting out with the bottom washi, and I used both of the strips that came with the kit, and I really love this bottom washi. I think that the flowers in it are just so pretty, and the GP Studio has a really fun style of like combining real, what are they called? Photo kits, like photo kit elements with like their own drawings and additions and like overlays that are really cool. And so I think that's a really fun style, and they do that a lot, and this kit was no different. And so now I'm putting the corner flags that came with the kit. I believe I only put one on this week, and I just put the one in the top left. And I really like this voiceover style kind of video, just because I think that it takes me an hour and a half to do one of these spreads for the most part. I usually speed up my videos by 3 times so that we get an hour, half-hour video, which for me is like the perfect video length. But I also know that some people like real-time videos, and so let me know what you're interested in. I can do the occasional real-time video, probably on a week that is more interesting than my average week. I can work some of those in, but I do prefer this voiceover style, especially because as I'm putting, oh my god, excuse me. I don't know if that was, if you could hear that. I had to sneeze. I tried to cover the mic. But it kind of lets me ramble while I'm putting down like the base kit, or the base of a spread, which like there aren't stories attached to why I have my date covers there. They're just my date covers and I like them, so I put them there. These kits do often come with 2 sets of date covers, and I saved the marble ones because I thought that they could be more versatile and used with like other kits and other spreads and things. And I also really like the pink foil, or the pink faux foil that this kit used as like an accent. The GP Studio also often incorporates like a faux foil into their kits, and I also think that's really interesting. I haven't seen a lot of faux foil, and I think it adds an interesting dimension because it doesn't look anything like real foil, but it's reminiscent of foil. So we go to the other side of the page, and I'm putting down my bottom washi. I think I decided not to white out that side because I don't think I really needed to. Things didn't really show through. The pattern is bold enough that it wasn't an issue. And this was an interesting week. I was getting a little tired of like not being in class, but at the same time really needed the break and wasn't ready for classes to start again. So it was an interesting time. Where am I in time? This is my first week of spring break. Never mind, I was not tired yet. I thought this was the second week, because I remembered that in the previous week and in the previous plan with me, my sister was visiting me, but she was visiting me for her spring break, which was the last half of the week that I had classes. And then this week is the first week of my spring break, and I get 2 weeks of spring break. So this was the first week. And I actually spent the first half of it visiting with my sister. Not really the first half, the first couple of days, because we were there over the weekend. Anyway, now that I figured out when I am, I've gotten the date covers down using these faux glitter headers, and this is the first time that I decided to do all of my full boxes in a row. And so I'm going to put them just all along the middle. And it's an interesting style. I've never done that before. I actually didn't think I'd even like that style, but I wanted to try something different. And I love these full boxes so much that I just kind of wanted to see them all in a row. And I like it. I like how it kind of breaks up the like information. Like there's stuff at the top and there's stuff at the bottom, and then there's this pretty row of decorative full boxes, which you'll see once I actually start laying those down. And yeah, another reason why I like these voiceover videos is because what else am I going to talk about while I'm laying down like these headers and things? It takes time, and I feel like that's boring. So just as an aside. And then when I'm laying down the full boxes, she has like full boxes that are weightier, like they have darker colors and then some with lighter colors and then pinks. And I just kind of tried to alternate the colors. So I started with like a whitish box, then I moved to a pink box, then a dark box, then another white box, then a pink box, then a whitish dark box, and then a another dark box. And that's kind of how I decided to lay things out. And this kit is so old that not only has this particular kit left the shop, but the GP Studio has reformatted her kits since I bought this one. So definitely like be ready for things to be a little different if you try to go find one of her kits. And that is the last full box. I think we're almost to the day by day. Not 100% certain about what I'm going to do next. Wow, even at 3 times speed, this is taking me forever to decide what I want to do. I think that I'm going to the sidebar. I didn't know what I wanted to do at the sidebar. Sometimes I feel like, in general, I use the sidebar as a space to kind of journal a little bit about the week as a whole, so that if I'm glancing at it quickly, I can pick out a week and know what was up. But that's not what I did. I jumped straight to Sunday because I was really excited to use my Game of Thrones countdown stickers that were a $2 Tuesday from my newest edition a few weeks before the release. And so I'm using this Winter is Coming in 3 week sticker to mark that the premiere of the 8th season was going to be in 3 weeks. And I'm using silver foil as the accent color for this particular week. And I framed that box with a couple of strips of washi from the kit. And I really like how that came out. I think in general, most of the time that I put these down, I will be doing that. And then just to get a sense of how much space I will have in general, I also jumped straight to the weekend banner. And I really like to put these together. They're a lot of fun. And as my washi collection is growing, I have more washi to like pull from. And I really love when kits come with flags already, because then I don't have to cut them at all. It's coordinating with the kit, and they're already in flag shapes. I just trimmed them to the size that I want. And so I started here with one flag, and then I put the other flag on the other side and fill in the middle. And I kind of always do my washi weekend banners like that, just so I know kind of where things are going to start, where they're going to stop, and then how to kind of build the middle up so that it makes sense. And I really like how this one came out. I mostly used washi strips from the kit, but I also pulled in the pink and white bows from the March Simply Gilded box, along with these silver inverted bows also from the March Simply Gilded sub box. And I've been really I love that box. Like, that box, I'm pretty sure that was the box that made me resubscribe to the Simply Gilded box. For the most part, I had the subscription for a few months, and then I canceled it because it was a little expensive and I wasn't using the washi as much, and I didn't feel like I really needed the washi that was coming in, and like the themes were fine, but I could live without it. But this box I really loved, and so I resubscribed because I liked all the sneaks and I liked the color palette and stuff. And then I've just kept it because I want to use more washi and I want to collect a bit more. And the boxes are a really great way to do that, like really easily, at a great value, I think, because the washi, like the cost of the washi alone is pretty much the cost of the box, and then you get a ton of like little add-ons that are fun. Even if you don't use every single one of them, the ones you do use, I think, are nice. if you happen to be able to use them. I can use usually a few of the different items that come with them. The stickers are always fun, things like that. And when I put together one of these weekend banners, I'm really just thinking about like how to layer the different washi strips and keep them at different lengths so that the banner looks more fluid. Like, I want to imagine an actual drapery, and you know how there are like lots of folds and it's really like there's a lot of movement going on. That's what I want for a washi weekend banner, is to mimic that kind of movement. I don't like the banners that are just really straight and everything's aligned and you just have the zigzag at the bottom with different strips of washi. That's not my style. So I work really hard to layer things in a fun way. And I think I did that with this banner and I really liked how it came out. I hope I'm almost done with it. Yeah, so now I'm just putting down the weekend banner that just says The Weekend. And I put that across there. And honestly, I didn't really have the space for a weekend banner this week. I ended up having to kind of make some things really like squished at the bottom. But it's so much fun. And I think I did this spread during spring break, so I had a lot of time to put that weekend banner together, and I was excited about it. So I did it. And then I just have to trim the top to make sure that the washi doesn't fall into my date covers. And I'm using these tweezers to get the really tiny bits of washi because I do trim the washi pretty close to the date covers, but not 100% perfectly. So some of the pieces are really small and kind of hard to pick out. But that's just how it goes. And this also takes a long time. So we're just gonna wait here together until I finish this. Ah, there we go. So pretty. Okay, are we moving on to Monday? What do I do next? Oh, sidebar time. So for the sidebar, I like to journal a little bit, as I've already mentioned, but there's too much space here. So I decided to take one of the larger strips of washi from each of the different washi designs that the kit has and just stack them up. I can't say that I really like how that came out. It's a little random looking, but it's there, it's done. It's not ruining my life, so it's fine. And I just picked the really thick strips because I knew those weren't going to make it into my spread. They were just too thick. They would take up too much space. And I wanted to take up as much space in the sidebar as possible, so it worked out. Now am I moving on to Monday? What am I doing? Get it together, Cielo. Oh, now I have to put my headers down. Oh my gosh, there's so many things to just get started. Okay, so because silver was my accent foil for the week, I decided to use these solid silver headers. And I decided to alternate whether this was, because I put the middle headers all the faux pink foil. So I decided for these silver headers to alternate whether they were in the last box or the top box. And so because I wanted to have one over on the full box in the sidebar, I put the next silver one down in the bottom box. Then on Tuesday we're in the top box, Wednesday bottom, and so on with these silver headers. And they are from a $2 Tuesday from Nettie Designs. And this was my first order from her shop, and I have to say that I really like it. The foil is good quality. Like, I didn't have any like issues with the foiling, and I think her foil is really affordable even without the $2 Tuesday. Her $2 Tuesday foil, the sheet that I have, you could do 2 weeks and then have like 6 headers left over. I don't know why she only has like 20 headers. I would really like just 21 so that I could get like 3 weeks out of it, but it's not that big a deal. Then things got weird when we got to the weekend, because I do have that weekend banner, so I didn't put any headers there. which actually meant that the 6 leftover headers I would have fit perfectly in this spread because you have 2 weeks and then like 6 extra headers. And so because the weekend banner's there, I was able to use all of the silver headers. And then I'm also using these rose gold star header overlays from Scribble Prints Co. And I decided not to put them over a header at all. I just laid them down, and so you just see like a white background with the stars on top, and I really like how that looked. It kept me from having to I felt like if I put them on top of something and it wasn't a solid washi, which I didn't have, they would be too cluttered looking. And the stars are so pretty that I really wanted them to stand out. So I didn't put anything behind them at all, and I like how that came out. Then for the very top of my spread, instead of putting like any deco or anything like that, I'm putting just a single strip of Simply Gilded washi up there to fill up some space. This is from the September pre-sale. September? Yeah, I think September 2018 she had a pre-sale, and that's where this washi is from. And now, the spread base is done. It only took me like 16 video minutes and 16 times 3 life minutes to get that done. So like 48 minutes to get that done, but I think I am finished. And you can see me pulling my notes from the week over so that I can start doing the day by day. And we are going to finally start on Monday. And so Monday I'm actually visiting my sister. I'm not at home. And I start the day with a phone call to a school that I was interviewing at, and I just put that at the very top. It was kind of annoying because I was on vacation, and then for some reason I thought, oh, I'll schedule this call at 9 a.m. So I had to wake up and find a quiet place in my sister's house to, both a quiet place and a place where I wouldn't interrupt anyone still sleeping, to go have this call. And then I used this little note sticker thingy and this I did nothing sticker from Ramona and Friends, a printable character shop, to say that I did nothing this day. I woke up, then I went right back to sleep, then I woke up again. My sister had started classes again, so she was out for most of the day, and my boyfriend was sick, so he wasn't really feeling to like go explore, and there was nothing I really wanted to do, so I didn't really do anything. And here in this half box I am marking that my boyfriend was sick. We did a little bit of wandering, but really just to go get him some cold medicine because my sister was out, so I couldn't ask her if she had any, and we just went to buy some. And at this point in the afternoon, I'd been awake for like 4 hours while he slept because he was sick, and I really needed to get out, so we did get out a little bit, but not much. Then when my sister got back from her classes, we made pizza together, and that was fun. I think the pizza came out good. I don't think I'd ever made pizza before this. She was able to get some dough from like a local pizza shop that just sold you the pizza dough if you didn't want to buy the pizza. And so we were rolling them out and we made some pizzas. And then I also saw Game of Thrones this day with my boyfriend on a large TV that my sister has in her house, and we just connected like a laptop via HDMI and saw it, and that was fun because usually we watch Game of Thrones on a laptop, and so because we don't have a TV, and it was fun to watch it like on a big screen. But we did watch it in the early to mid afternoon, and so that meant that we were fighting the sunlight coming in through the windows. Game of Thrones is such a dark show that any like ambient light can really make it hard to see the screen. But we were able to work it out, and it was a lot of fun. On Tuesday, we went back home, and so we had to take a series of buses just one bus from Syracuse, which is where my sister lives, to Albany, which is the closest like transportation hub to where I actually live. And then I learned that for the next half of the trip, I actually had tickets for March 12th. We're traveling on March the 19th, and when I bought my bus tickets, I bought them for March 12th, which means not only did I not have tickets for the 19th, but I bought tickets for a week where I was in class and like we didn't travel and I didn't use them. And so that was really hard. I had to get new tickets for the second leg of our trip. And it was stressful because I was worried that we wouldn't be able to get tickets. And I don't know why I was worried about that because honestly, nobody is traveling from Albany to the little tiny city that I live in. So there was one other person on the bus other than my boyfriend and me. So that wasn't a big deal, but it was annoying to have to pay for tickets twice because I messed up. And I'm glad I realized it too in time to get tickets because had we just tried to board the bus and we didn't have the right tickets, the bus would have left and we wouldn't have been able to get tickets. So that was a mess, but it all worked out. Then while we were waiting for the bus, I won my first game of Monopoly Deal. And it's a card game that's like based on Monopoly and you have properties and you're kind of trading them with people. And I first learned how to play with my sister while visiting her. And I've lost just every single game that I played. But finally, I was playing against my boyfriend while we were at the bus stop and I won. So that was exciting and I wanted to mark that. When we finally got home, we were both exhausted because my sister is a 3-hour drive away, but we don't have a car. So it was like an 8-hour trip to get back home on various buses and taxis and things. And then once we'd had some time to recuperate, we tried to make brownies, but it was an experiment that did not work out. They had a weird texture. I can't remember what my boyfriend did that was different, but it was a weird time and they didn't really work out. Then I wanted to mark that we had new sheets because we really only had one set of sheets that don't get washed nearly as often as they should be washed because we don't have easy access to a washer and dryer. And so while I was out with my sister, we went to a mall and I got several sets of new sheets so that I could switch them out between laundry days. And we could have cleaner sheets more often because that was getting out of hand. I also realized just now that I completely talked over everything that happened on Wednesday, but that wasn't really anything. We just got there. We finally got home. We were all both tired, and really the only thing that my boyfriend and I did was bake a chocolate cake and finish rewatching the fourth season of Game of Thrones. And that's really it. We didn't do a lot. On Thursday, I was feeling sick, which was annoying, but also made sense because I went to visit my sister. We were in a new place. We went out to a mall in a new city. There was a lot of newness happening, and I'm sure I encountered some germs that my body was not happy with. Thursday was also a lazy day. I just did a lot of laying down because I just wasn't feeling great. And then I have this little character sticker to mark that we frosted the cake that we baked on Wednesday. And then under that, I will mark that I had watermelon just as a snack. I don't usually have watermelon. It's too much to buy a big watermelon just for my boyfriend and me, and he doesn't really like watermelon, so he doesn't eat it, which means it would just be me eating all that watermelon and it would go bad. But this day I splurged and I bought the small watermelon, even though it's not really as good a value as the bigger watermelon. And so I had that not marked here. Oh yeah, we did mark it here. I'll get to that later then. Then I have this like side-eye face because we went to go watch How to Train Your Dragon 3, I think. And we got there at the wrong time. Like my scheduling this week was a mess. We got there and it turns out that the movie times I had referenced the day before were only for that day, and they happened to change on Thursday, which I wasn't expecting. I thought they had the same times every day. So the last showing had already started by the time we got to the theater, and so we just went home, and instead we rented the movie Get Out, which was okay. It was a little, like, it was super symbolism heavy, and it had a very clear message, which is fine, but I think it sacrificed a bit of actual story. So like it had good things to say, but story wise as a movie and just a movie, it was only okay. Then I put down that little heart sticker just for something I don't want to talk about, so I don't write what it is in here. And then we're on to Friday. And I have this little couple sleeping sticker because we slept in this day and I didn't set an alarm, which is crazy because I almost always have to set an alarm, but this day I did not, and that was a ton of fun. I just slept until I woke up. Then I mailed a bracelet back to my sister that I had accidentally taken, and I put it on for like St. Patrick's Day. It was green and it was just happened to be around the room we were staying in, and I didn't realize that it wasn't hers. It belonged to one of her roommates, and it was just this really cheap beaded bracelet, but apparently for whatever reason it was a big deal to her roommate, so I mailed it back as soon as like I knew that there was this mix up. And then after that I had to have a video call with some people from a master's program that I was applying to. And then I was continued to feel sick on this day, so I was just writing that I was sick and achy and tired and not feeling great. Then I have this little character reading a book. Excuse me, reading a book to say that I started the book Garden of the Moon, which is part of this epic fantasy series that is like notorious for being hard to get into, but my boyfriend is convinced that it's good, and he's really into fantasy books, and he's read the first book in the series and was on the second book, and so that day we decided to read together, and I started the first one and he continued the second one. We also finally watched How to Train Your Dragon on Friday in the right theater at the right time, and that all worked out. Honestly, I was a little disappointed by it. I think it was very, very similar to the second movie. Like, the plot was almost exactly the same, and I was not a fan of that, but it was okay. And then my Simply Gilded sub box came in on Saturday, and that was a lot of fun. Then we get down to the bottom of Saturday, and I'm sort of kind of not really regretting the weekend banner because I am using this checklist just to list things that I did that day because I don't have the space to do anything more creative. And I have this little grocery bag that I put in the header because, again, I don't have the space, and I just wanted to mark that we went to get groceries on Saturday. Like we do most Saturdays, Saturdays are grocery days. And so I'm just going to list things that I did that day. I have this little Overwatch icon thing that I made myself to mark that my boyfriend and I played Overwatch together. We also played Subnautica, which is such a fun game. Oh my god, I love that game. We finally built something called a prawn suit. If you know what Subnautica is, you know what a prawn suit is. It's like this, it's this upgraded like underwater suit thing for us to explore. It's a ton of fun. And then I also did an April monthly and some memory planning. I planned next week, and I read with my boyfriend some more that evening. But back to Subnautica. Such a fun game. My boyfriend and I have started to play video games together, even if they're single-person games, because what happens is that I want to play games, but really more for the story. I suck mechanically. My aim is bad. I can't play games very well, but he can, and so it's really fun for me to just be a backseat gamer and just watch him play and help him make decisions while playing, but not have to fight things because I get scared and freeze and die, and then I would never get anywhere. But yeah. Then on Sunday, I am marking that we watched Game of Thrones Season 5, played Subnautica, and some Skyrim together. It was a fun evening. We did a lot of games. And then I put down this label sticker to mark that I had a print and cut day. So I print and cut lots of stickers. I don't even remember what. But that silhouette sticker is from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I'm marking that we had biscuits with butter and honey that day. That's a fun snack. I didn't know that was a thing people did. My boyfriend was the one who showed me that food, and then since then I've seen it in like a few different YouTube videos that I've seen about cooking, and it's strange. I never knew that was a thing. Then I also marked that I set up my Hobonichi weeks for April. And that concludes our spread. I believe I journal in the sidebar later. And so this is how the week looked. I really like it. I'm just showing you some of the foiled accents. And if you like what you've seen, I hope that you will like, comment, and or subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye!